just gonna get me every time with that one. You know what I mean? Hey, this is the Wakeful Grid podcast, with your boy Carlito Grin. I hope y'all had a grateful day, and shout out to my Wakeful folks out there. You know, let's get it. This is the first episode, so, excuse me, forgive me if I get a little nervous, but, at the same time, I'm gonna give y'all my best, the gritty way, so, you'll see for yourself, but, shit, what can I say, man? A lot of shit we gonna talk about in this podcast. It's sports, culture, shit, anything that's real. You feel me? Yeah, just like we gonna give people flowers. You know what I mean? We gonna give people recognition on this show. The sleepers are welcome. Underdogs are welcome. You know what I mean? All the people that felt that unappreciative, y'all is welcome. Especially if you have a good thing going for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, this one for the gritters. This one for the sleepers, man. This one's for all the people that, trying their best every day. Gritting, daily. Just to feed theirs and their family, just trying to be a better person, period, man. Which, that's all we really want, man. Just a better life for ourselves, Change, man. Change is good, as long as it's for better. But shit, it just, like I said, man, I'm a little nervous with this podcast stuff, but you know what? I'll be fine. First episode, what can I say? As you see, the logo that I made, man, first of all, y'all give me feedback, on comments, on that logo. That logo, I put angel, youthful angel, because I've been loving this since I was a kid, since I was a baby. God knew that talking sports period is my life. I'm a fanatic, so, put a helmet on them, put boxing gloves on them, basketball jerseys, baseball cleats, you name it, bro. It's just, talk about all that, There's a lot of stuff that I want to reflect, but, I'm going to keep it in the future, be mindful for future episodes, so, I'm going to give you a lot. This is just the first episode, so pretty much we just vibing and shit, you know what I mean? Me introducing myself to y'all, you know what I mean? The consumer, I hope y'all could fuck with me, with this one, and people need support, bro. A team is important, in life, because once we succeed and everyone be in their position, man, we gonna have things in our life that we never thought we would have. It's just something that I always wanted for myself, not just for myself, but just my peoples, especially the people that I grow relationships with. Jim, that's an important relationship to me, right now in my life, because the stuff we talk about outside the show, just me and him, just, smoking, just having a good time, talking deep, the vision is clear, and it's just like, as long as we stay in motion, we're gonna conquer that shit. We're gonna truly live the life that we always wanted, we dreamed of since we were little kids, or whatever, but it's mental, man. You gotta have the mental strong. Can't be weak-minded, because, and just cause, a person that has something, you feel that, why did that person have this? Why did that person have that? Because they're in emotion. They put themselves in that position. Let's stop paying attention to stuff like that and pay attention to the man in the mirror on what he needs to do just to have what that person has. We need to stop blaming just the opportunity of what you're in right now, that you don't think that you can have that too, because you could have it too, but a lot of people just busy being haters and not realizing that shit, y'all can do this shit too, you know. So that's what, where I'm from. I just want to be that helpful seed to grow into a tree that you can never take down. That's gonna be here till I'm dead and gone. Be for my kids. I'm shit like this. This shit we trying to build here. So if you feel that you could be a benefit for yourself, not just for me or the team, then please, hit me up, DM me, because it's never me, it's always we. You feel me? And it just, I know what I bring to the table each and every time. So, as long as I know that, and I know what I'm doing, how my accountability on myself, then hey, we gonna be all right. This is just a movement, bro. And it's the wave's coming. It's coming soon. Big old hurricane. But yeah, man. So we just vibing right now on a Friday night. Like I said, forgive me, y'all. So what should we talk about, man? First episode. Let's talk about the Jordan thing. It's it's fucked up that a lot of people have different views about what went on this week. It was the GOAT. Sunday, man. He during All-Star weekend, he got a championship in NASCAR. The championship. I don't watch that much NASCAR, but I have a buddy that does. But it's this shit means something, and for it to kind of get taken away, the moment of some shit that it's not what it was, in a different view. I know a lot of people have their opinion about this shit, but Mike knew there was people there, man. He knows that he's being watched, It's the Super Bowl of NASCAR, bro, Pure innocent, helping that boy, That's why Mike don't fuck with the media. That's why we don't get enough Michael Jordan. I would love to see more Michael Jordan interviews, but we're not though, because he don't fuck with the media because y'all want to, love to ruin everything and just make nonsense out of it and, make up, people like this. Let's shame the real predators. Michael Jordan is not a predator. Next day was his birthday, and he has to deal with this shit on his 63rd birthday. Like, come on, y'all. It's agree to disagree, but Mike, let's not try to ruin someone's reputation, over something that wasn't, what the world was looking at. He was innocently helping that boy out. And that's all I'm really going to say, It's not because I idolize Mike, I'm a huge sports fanatic. I idolize God, Jesus Christ. That's who I idolize. And I don't want you to think, oh, he can do anything he wants and you still going to have his back. No, that is not the case. But Mike is not, it is what y'all came with him to be. Stop trying to ruin this man's legacy because he's too good of a person, to be dealing with shit like this, It's just like, I'm old school. Me and Jim talked about this, behind cameras. Like, when I used to go play in the farm, my grandpa's farm, right? And I have my older great uncle, my Theo, say if I'm dirty, he's wiping my shit off too, But it's just innocent, Why can't we go back to innocent? Like, come on, man. Like, Mike, dude, there's people all around him. You think he's gonna be a creep and do that type of shit in front of the world? No. So that's why it's just like, it's kind of unfortunate that people have to bash a great man like this, especially for the week that he had. I think we need to do better, but then again, social media, everyone's opinion matters in their eyes. My opinion don't matter at all. My opinion only matters if you care for it, or if I know that, you're going to use this game wisely. Other than that, I'm always going to just keep it to myself. But then again, this is my show, so my opinion is always going to matter in this show. So, but like I said, it's unfortunate for stuff like this. And, that man deserves better, man, for real. And during NBA weekend, this man is basketball. Even if he don't have to do nothing with basketball, just we need to just stop being so judgmental, man, in life, and just make sure that worry about the man in the mirror. See if the man in the mirror ain't doing no fuck shit, but you so quick to point out people's fuckery, so that's the thing, man. It's just word of the day, man. It's just accountability, period. Let's go on to the next. Let me see what we have here. Oakland A's, man. Shit, welcome Bo Mel back. He's not the manager. I'm an Oakland A's fan, so he got hired as a special assistant of baseball operations for the A's. He's not the manager, but he's gonna be involved. So, man, I like Bo Mel. Bob Melvin. He's a good coach, bro. For the A's. 11 seasons he's been as an A manager, so he's one of probably top 3, all-time A's managers, But yeah, shout out to Bo Mel. Welcome back to the A's. Shit, man. Let's talk about the Raiders, man. I only say the Raiders because I'm a Raiders fan. As you can see, Oakland on my chest, because Oakland is the best sports town there is. My dad's from Oakland, and but there's times when we were kids, we always go to the Raiders games, right? And it's just like the times we had at the Raiders games was just, the vibe is unmatched, bro. You can't beat this. The tailgate parties, best party there was, bro. There ever will be too. You feel me? Is the Oakland Raiders tailgate, and man, me and my brother used to mob out the stadium parking lot, while the tailgate's going, because sometimes we'll play at maybe 1 o'clock, could be the West Coast team, so we get there hella early, wake up around 4, maybe get there at 7, 8, and then start partying. But me and my brother used to hop out, the parking lot. We used to go to the up in East Oakland, And we met a couple people, smoke a blunt, mobbing, and it just, man, ain't nothing. It was nothing like it. And then come back high as fuck, and then party. I seen a couple rappers over there, every time I went to the games. Met Draymond Green, I think we won our second championship game for the Warriors. And then, he was right there partying. I think Mr. Fab was right there too. You feel me? And just getting stupid, Just, damn, nothing like it. That chant, Raiders, ain't nothing like it, man, And it's just like, I love my team. Raiders just has a lot of the blame of me loving sports, bro. Being a sports fanatic, My dad loves the Raiders and will always love the Raiders. And, I know we haven't been the best, but we going to get it right, man. And I'm just going to talk about the coaching, move so far because it's just like right now, Super Bowl just ended. It's draft season, so and later on in the future episodes, I'm gonna be talking about the draft because I'm a draft guy. You know what I mean? I always every time I watch Mel Kiper Jr., you know what I mean? He was one of my people that I look up, wanting to be in sports, having my own show. You know, I know some don't like him, but Stephen A. He just shows the media that he's not gonna ever care on what people think of him. And you know what? That's how I'm gonna approach everything. Too, while I'm doing this, the great Stuart Scott. You know what I mean? Rest his soul. You feel me? Just he's one of my favorites. ESPN hasn't even been the same since Stuart Scott died. So it's just like hopefully I can bring that back to sports. Just the authenticity, and just the love, and he just showed that he loved his job. He showed that it wasn't just a news show. It was more than that. And that's what I'm trying to do here. You know what I mean? And next future episodes, we're gonna be talking about the draft. I'm gonna be having guests too, talking about the draft of their favorite teams, and just NFL period, not just the Raiders. Just all sports. You know what I mean? All teams. So yeah, like I said, next episode I'm gonna probably give my 1 to 15 pick mock draft, and then later on, I'll be dropping my 32 mock draft for the first round, and even maybe the second round. So yeah, tune in, But back to the Raiders, I'm coaching. I think out of all the coaches that got hired this year, this offseason, like coming up. Well, it is the offseason, but out of all the teams that needed the coach to fill that position, I feel like the Raiders made the best moves on their head coach. Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, former Bronco head coach, Texans head coach, former player, been an offensive coordinator for a lot of years. Of course, Kent's gonna feed off his dad and grow up soaking all that shit in. Dad won Super Bowls with the Broncos. As a coach and as a assistant coach, I believe. Offensive coordinator with John Elway back in the late '90s, I think. Yeah, not I think, but he did. But the son of Gary Kubiak, that's what I'm gonna call him. But I didn't think he was gonna take the job at first because his dad is a Bronco, and Broncos don't fuck with the Raiders, so it's just like I'm glad he came to the dark side and kind of not have a shadow under his dad's legacy and create his own lane with this coaching shit. So I call it's an A+ hire. Look what he did in the Super Bowl. Look what he did with Sam Darnold. Make sure Sam Darnold, you can disagree with me, but Sam Darnold is right now playing top 5 quarterback in the league. The way he ran the ball, used Kenneth Walker, Jr. and what's the backup name of Zach? Before he got hurt, he was using both of them throughout the season. Just beating teams with running and throwing, just a balanced offense. So, what the Raiders have with Jancy and Brock Bowers, he's gonna have that. He's gonna bring that to us and make sure that we to see and execute better this year, and we will because Fernando Mendoza's gonna be a Raider. That's obvious pick. I hope that's the case because if he is, we just got to create a whole team around him on offense side. In defense, I feel like we should trade Max Crosby. You know, a lot of Raider fans, you know, love him. I love him, but we ain't winning with him, to be honest. You know, he's leverage, and I'd rather go with leverage than nothing. And you know, he's gonna give us some picks. So with the first pick, we got Mendoza, and I know I say that I'm gonna be talking about the draft later on in future episodes, but I'm just gonna um, give you the little scenario on what the Raiders should do. Draft Fernie. I'm gonna call him Fernie. You know what I mean? Because it's just like I feel like every personality needs a nickname. You know, especially in the Raiders. So you know, we're gonna draft Fernie with the number 1 pick, right? And we're gonna trade Max Crosby to a team that's gonna give us the best offer. Hopefully it's 2 first rounds. You know, maybe our first round, second round, and a good player. You know, type shit. I don't know, but he's gonna give us something, and use that pick on whatever the team offers. Use it on the offensive lineman, or just use it on defense. You know what I mean? I don't feel like no wide receivers worth it right now, even though we don't have a true number 1 wide receiver. We shouldn't draft a wide receiver and with that second first round. If we do trade Crosby, we should use our offensive lineman, the best offensive lineman available, or or Ruben Bain from Miami. I know he's a DN too, and we just got rid of our DN, but I feel like he can be a factor and bring that missing piece that we need. Even though Max is enough, he's one of the best defensive ends in the league right now, but it just seems like he's just entertaining the trade rumors, and it just but then again, I know how the media is. They love to make shit up, and just try to feed it to the consumers, and everyone's a critic, so we'll see what happens. And then in that second round, we got the 36th pick. I think that's the 3rd pick in the second round. Maybe a wide receiver, maybe offensive lineman again, but in the free agents, we can just focus getting our offensive lineman, because there's a lot this year in this free agent draft class. I mean in the free agent class, but in the draft there's a lot too. So maybe a wide receiver. I would love to get Zachariah Branch, the great nephew of the great late Cliff Branch. First he went to USC, and then he transferred to Georgia, and I think he broke records this year with Georgia. I feel like if he's there in the second round with that 36th pick, he got Raiders bloodline, so might as well. You feel me? His uncle was a Hall of Famer, one of the best wide receivers back in the 70s. Let's have a family affair and bring him along. For have him put that silver and black on. I think he'll do good for us in that offense. I think Kubiak will, know what to do with him. And yeah, bro. I just, talk about the Raiders. It's just like, I can go on and on, but, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just talking about the coach. So, Clint is gonna, I think he'll do well. We need a lot more pieces to have the team that we really want, but I feel like he's a good start, and he will lead us to the promised land, sooner than later. Our assistant head coach, Mike McCoy, former Charger head coach, he was the interim Tennessee's coach, so I feel like he'd be a good presence. Offense coordinator Andrew Joko, I think that's his name. Young coming, offensive mind. I think he's from he was from Seattle as well. He was a quarterback coach. So what he did with Sam Darnold, like I said, he's gonna do with Fernie. So I feel like the office coordinator is a good pickup. Running back coach Omar Young, wide receiver coach Zach Azani, O line coach Rick Dennison. That's a good pick. You know what I mean? Very veteran leader type coach. He's been in the league for a long time now. So we needed a way better offensive line coach other than what we had with Pete Carroll's son. That shit was nepotism, and he didn't belong in the staff at all, man. He made that offensive line like shit. Never seen the offensive line like that before. And we had bad Raider teams. Me growing up, watching the Raiders, at least our offensive line was somewhat, be decent because, Al Davis, the way you want your football team, it starts up front and it starts if you want to win games, you have to have that good offensive line. You see the Cowboys draft an offensive line almost every year. You know what I mean? Because Jerry knows the importance of having that wall built around your quarterback, even though they haven't won anything. But you see teams, from the past win Super Bowls. They had a solid line, and I feel like that's what the starting piece of getting your team good again. You gotta focus on offensive line, and we started getting an offensive line coach. I think that'd be perfect. Dennis Richardson, Rick Anderson, good pick. DC defense coordinator Rob Leonard, he was the defensive line coach for us for a couple years now. Matt Crosby loves him, so maybe if we don't trade Matt Crosby, he'll stay because he knows Leonard's system and he know how he is. So he don't give his all, to the team. I'm talking about Rob Leonard, So I kind of low key like the move. It's an in-house move, so you know senior defense assistant Al Cohon, defensive line coach Travis Smith, linebacker coach Rondell Williams, defensive backs coach Matt Robinson, defensive assistant coach of secondary Joe Woods, special teams Joe D. Camillus, Millis. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce that shit right. Yeah, he's a good special team coach. I think he was in South Carolina in the college back last year. So back in the NFL. So I think he'll prosper. An assistant special team coach Marquise Williams. And that's the coaching moves that the Raiders made so far. And hopefully it's just better than last year's. Because, yeah, we had one of the worst coaching staffs of the whole year last year. I think we're in the bottom two. And hopefully this staff brings a change and coach the boys better. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, shit, what else we should talk about, bro? Pretty much I'm just freestyling, It'd be good to have a co-host or, a guest right now, but, this is the first episode. I'm just giving y'all me, and, yeah. So, shit, man. The thing I love about sports also is the clothes, bro. The merch, the throwbacks. Just the history of logos on the meaning. On what city, town they're playing in, just how the logo looks. I've always told myself this. And this is how I think. A logo is the face of your brand. Make it a good one. Make it stands out. Uh, you know, make it have meaning. Just don't slap a logo and there's no meaning. But then again, if you think it's dope, then it's dope. Whatever. It could be any logo could be dope to someone, right? But the thing that I love about sports so much is, like I said, it's sports. The jerseys, the hats, beanies, sweats, shirts, jackets. It just I could go on and on. Because I'm an entrepreneur as well, and I love clothes. And even since I was little, my dad always had me in Raider shit. Looney Tunes, Snoopy, Raider stuff. Whatever cartoon stuff. And remember he's always giving me a hat. That's just how my dad was. Cause I got that love of clothes because my dad will always buy me something cool. And it's just like I'd rather have like a sports hat or jersey or jacket over a toy when I was little. So you know sports merch means a lot to me. So on this episode, I'm just gonna you know tell you my top 5 favorite logos slash merch, Bay Area edition. So number one, of course I'm gonna pick the Raiders. You know, uh, silver and black, bro. Look at them colors, bro. Anything with the Raiders is dope, bro. You know, uh, to me, guys, feel like we got the best jerseys in the league. Anyone looks good in a Raiders jersey. You feel me? So it's just, yeah, you can never go wrong. Look as we speak, Raiders hat. Look at me. Let's talk about the fit. We're talking about the Bay Area. This is a Bay Area. Because Bay Area is in my blood. Shout out to Oakland. Shout out San Jose. Shout out to Haywood. Shout out all the the whole Bay Area. But anyways, got my slash Oakland A's slash early 2000 Warrior color scheme jacket with the silver, jacket, starter, Savs, shout out to Savs, you know, yeah, Oakland jacket with my Mitchell and Ness, um, Raider hat, with a whole bunch of pins, Taz pin, a Snoopy pin, playing for the Raiders, Tim Brown, Bo Jackson, Casper, the Ghost, you feel me? Just man, damn, I look good. That's you know. But Raiders number one, on the list. Second, of course, I'm gonna pick the Ace. That green and yellow. Just a lot of people think it's ugly, but I think it's beautiful, man. You feel me? My dad always bought me some Ace stuff. I always, it's funny too. I try to, cause my dad always gets Raider gears for him. But so like if it's like Father's Day, his birthday, or Christmas, I always try to get him like an Ace, something Ace, because he's an Ace fan too, but he don't have a lot of Ace stuff more than he has Raider stuff. So I try to, buy him some Oakland A's gear. You know, number three, of course, I'm gonna say Warriors. You know, it just they old school. The old school now and today's colors, they're the same. But the early 2000 Warriors just was different, man. Just that navy blue, orange, a little bit yellow. They're just like you know underrated, slept on logo they had. And I miss them jerseys. I got 5 jerseys of the 2000 Warriors. You know what I mean? Maybe future episodes I could bring my jerseys, on the show and just show you how much jerseys I have. It's over 50 plus. But yeah, so Warriors be third. Fourth, Cal Berkeley. Cal Berkeley merch, the logos, history, man, one of the dopest. uh, that navy blue with the yellow, the gold, whatever you want to call it. It just, hopefully one day, my son goes to Cal Berkeley and I can see him wear those colors. I'm also a Cal Berkeley fan, so I got the bear tatted on my chest, so it's real. But yeah, that has to be dope. Number four, that just that cow logo, just it's history here, man. You feel me? It just you can wear that shit anywhere in California. It should be dope. And number five, like I could say the Sharks. God, I'm a Sharks fan. I love the Sharks logo, especially their first logo when they barely came out. I want to say Niners, because at the end of the day, their colors, is legendary. Back in the '80s, that was the sports merch that everyone had to have, because they're, the team of the '80s, and they're just that's when I feel like sports merch was at their best. Just everyone had their shirt, jacket, whatever it is, had, and the Niners, them colors, I'm not a hater, what I mean, but I can never wear them colors. But I want to say them five, but with number five, I'm gonna go with Stanford. Stanford, that burgundy, with that white old school Stanford hat, with them colors, with the S with the tree. I feel that's a very underrated logo, and the color scheme, you know, shit. Uh, it's just one of the best sports merch of underrated of all time. I feel like they always kind of sleep on it, type shit. But yeah, if I had to say my top five, it'll be those clothes. You feel me on whatever it is, but so I apologize for me, pausing. Like I said, first episode, gonna have the nerves, but it just, I just feel good, man. I just, like I said, appreciate Abs and Jam just giving me this platform, and just know that, you know, future episodes, I'm gonna grow, and I'm gonna be better. Like I said, man, I'm trying to be like Stuart Scott and them, so this shit comes naturally, and I'm trying to just pretty much just vibe with the with the camera, which it's not really, what I mean, what I'm used to. But now that Jem's giving me this opportunity, I have to get used to it. So, like I said, y'all forgive me, if I stumble, or, if I take a long pause, I know it's perfect, but what I mean, I'm aiming for it. So next episode, there's gonna be, like I said, mock drafts, but I feel like I should have my first guest, and I feel like I'm gonna call my first guest right now. I think I'm gonna call my brother, to be my first guest.
Do the permission on the screen.
So, but give me a moment. I'm gonna hit up my brother, see what he's doing. Okay. Oh shit. Did I do it?
Yeah, when it says this is we need your permission. It says yeah. When it's
Okay.
on our end, it says let me
Okay.
know.
For sure. For sure.
Ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna call my brother right now. It's on.
Yeah. Now I
Okay.
gotta
Let's
follow my
get it.
IG
Let's get it, boys.
on the bottom, the little arrow.
Oh shit. My bad, guys.
Go for it. Right there. I'm not doing it for you.
You're doing it for me?
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you type it in right there. There you go.
Let's see what Junie 200 is doing, man. Be my. Wow. My bad, bro.
Let me click it for you if you want.
For sure. For sure.
Go for it. All right. I'll call it for you.
FaceTime? Let's get it. I'm calling my brother, man. You know what I mean? First episode. Let's get this, man. We just freestyling shit. You know? Shout out Big Jew Mobby, man. Let's see what he's doing out in Atlanta. Yeah. Big Jew. Hey, you the first person, man, that I want to be part of this new podcast I'm in, bro. You know, the Wakeful Grit. You the first person guest in this on this episode, bro. So shit, what's good?
Shit, hell yeah. Shout out to Mob. It's the Mob in the building.
Shit, where you at right now? I see that you mobbing. I see the city lights off your
Yeah.
glasses.
Here, right now, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. You feel me?
You in Tennessee right now?
Yeah, Tennessee with it.
Damn.
Right now with the Primo.
Damn, my wife's the only 10 I see.
Shout
Shit,
out
up
Ghost
it.
Boy
Yeah.
Nate.
Shout out Ghost Boy Nate. Hey, you know what I mean, like you know, this is a sports show. I just named my top five favorite merch logo, you know, and throwback logos or just sports logos and you know what I mean. Period. I did a
Oh, nah, but not to change the topic. I'm gonna answer that for you, but I just ran into what's the Giants coach,
Giants coach
that just recently got fired.
Brian DeBall.
Yeah, Brian DeBoer. I
He
just seen
he's in
him, bro.
hey, it's crazy. He's in Tennessee right now. Now as the offensive coordinator.
I seen him right now. And
Shut
you know,
up.
shook his
For real?
hand, and you know what I mean. He was showing love, bro.
For real.
Yeah, for
What
real.
happened? Damn.
I
You
seen
feel
him.
me? Hey,
Like, ain't nobody was talking. Nobody was talking to him. Like it's like he was just walking around.
but
Like
you knew it was Brian DeBall?
yeah, you know, cause we watch football, bro. We know.
Yeah.
Like
So what happened? Like, what'd you do?
I just said, hey man, what's up, man? Like hey, they need to give you another. I told them they need to give you another opportunity to be a head coach.
Oh,
And
for real, for real.
he said, hey, I appreciate it, man. Much love.
Hey, you
And
know,
he shook my hand.
damn, you know what, man? I mean, first time coaches will always have that struggle on trying to, you know, what I mean, maintain a team. You know, because first year I think he took up to the playoffs, but you know, years after he just kind of just fumbled, you know, that team and just went went down he just downgraded after that. But that's tight, man. The office coordinator from for Tennessee Titans, man. Fuck, my brother just met him. You heard him. That's crazy, man. You see, and that's what this show's about. Just talking sports, and then you know what I mean. Just little stuff like that. You know, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that happened right now, and you know, bro just met office coordinator from Tennessee Titans. That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's tight, bro.
That's what it's fucking all about right here, bro. Thank you, bro, for that.
I just said, yeah, they need to give you another chance, bro.
Man, thank you for
Yeah, I
this
appreciate it, bro.
this little story, bro. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. You're just trying to make the podcast, grow and
Why can't we see bro's face?
yeah. She mobbing right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm on the road right now.
Jim said he sent his love, man, and he says what's good.
Hey, man, tell them it's love, bro. You already know. I can't wait to pull up, bro. And chop it up.
Shit, we probably gonna talk like 15, 20 minutes on here, bro, and we'll carry on the show. But what's your top five Bay Area merch, aka like logos, like just what you think is dope, but top five Bay Area edition though. Only Bay teams, and you can say college.
Of course, you know the Cal Berkeley Bear.
That's number one. That's number one to you.
Nah, we're Raiders at heart, so it gotta be the black, the gray shield, the Raiders shield.
Yeah.
That and then the
The
reveal
the
shield.
okay, yeah, the old school logo with the
Yeah,
gray
the old
shield.
school logo. Yeah, that got to be number one because
And logos and merch
that
too.
was like
Like you wearing that like like nothing. Like you like confidently. Like damn, yeah, I know I look good in this shit.
oh yeah, because it's silver and black. You
Like,
know what I mean? That
honestly, it's the
goes
best logo in sports history. You know what I mean?
shit. Damn near it could be, but
Top 10.
that's a
Top top
bias. That's
top.
a biased statement. That's a biased
Yeah,
statement, though. You know?
it could be top 5, top 10 though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then I like the
Who's number
I like the
2?
Warriors. I like the Warriors logo, the one with the I like the basketball one, and then it has the what is it? It has the California State.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back in the '70s,
That was bad.
'80s. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that logo too.
I
But
said
of course the Warrior guy on there too.
yeah, yeah. Early 2000.
That's that.
Yeah, yeah. Is that so? That's number 2
Yeah,
at
like
best. Okay.
and then of course I like the Oakland A's, the white background. Oakland A's.
Man, I say Oakland A's was my number 2 because I mean I didn't mention the elephant, but now I mean it gives me a chance to mention the elephant. Elephant, like I said too, is one of the dopest logos of all time, and I could be biased because it's my team, but that Oakland A's elephant, man, it's top tier. For real, it's
Yeah,
one of the
for
best
real.
logos of all time, and when you have
The one standing on the bar,
yes,
or yeah,
yeah, the one I have tattoo on me. Um,
yeah,
when you wear shit like that, with the elephant, it's just like damn, like don't get me wrong, the A, it's cool, but I'd rather have the elephant on it. You feel me?
yeah. I feel like that's like my top two because it's
Two
Cal Berkeley shit first. Nah, it's Cal Berkeley shit first, and then it's Oakland
Raiders,
A's shit,
uh,
and then Raiders third.
Raiders third. Raiders was my
And then
first.
Warriors last because I'm a Laker fan. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
we've been up and down this year, but
Well, in future episodes, we'll talk about that gold and purple, but it's just Bay Area right now. What's number 5? Your last one.
uh, probably gonna probably be the Stanford Cardinal
That's
or the
see, that's my
yeah
brother, man. I told you we alike, Jim. And you feel me? Like he didn't. Hey, the Stanford was my number 5 too.
yeah
You feel
that's
me?
my number five.
Yeah.
For real.
Same mama, same daddy. I'm telling you, bro. We think alike.
You can't go wrong with that shit.
Yeah, nah, for real, nah.
Shout out Stanford though, for
South
real.
Stanford, man, smartest school in California. It's like the Harvard of California. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah,
like,
Ivy League shit.
yup. You feel me? It's not the Ivy League, but it's damn up there. With them. But
Yeah,
I won't be mad if Drew goes to Stanford or Cal Berkeley, either one. But hey, bro,
yeah.
see, that's exactly what I said. All the teams that you said, that's what I said too, but in different order, of
In the
course.
same order or different order?
No, Raiders was my first. A's second.
I don't know, bro. We can't forget San Jose Sharks though.
No,
Too, though.
I did. That's like my sixth man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But it was just quick top 5, and you know what I mean. And San Jose State Spartans.
Oh yeah,
That blue and
yeah,
yellow, similar as the Warriors. That merch. That logo was cool too. You know. Uh, but yeah, bro. Just what I mean. I just wanted to call you and just have you be my first guest. You know,
yeah. Hell
and
yeah,
just
man.
on some
Shit.
random
Thank you for
shit.
coming in again,
Make
too.
sure
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
y'all stay in tune, man.
I'm not. What,
Wakeful,
wait
that
for
wakeful
grit.
shit. You know
Yeah, I
what I mean?
mean,
That's gonna give you a different perspective of
for
sports.
sure.
That's gonna show you that you know what I mean. Like, damn, okay, the you know what I mean. This star player is good, but you didn't realize, okay, you
What
got
they
these
have
other
on the
dope
bench. Yeah.
players that nobody looks at.
Mhm.
You know?
That's why I say, man, the teamwork to make the dream work. You feel me? And it just can't focus just on the star. It just every position matters. No one's bigger than the team.
Yeah, for
You
real.
know, and that's how I approach life. And everything. Just sports taught me a lot of things, and me and you, that's all we seen. Like I don't feel um I don't think my bad. I don't think people realize how much I love sports. Tell them how much I love sports, bro. And that why I'm doing this. I could be doing, other shit right now, talking, in podcasts, but I always, what I mean? Tell them my true passion.
Shit, fucking shit. That's kids. Yeah, we watch cartoons, but Sports Center stood on.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
24
like
7.
that shit stood on 24/7. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we love our cartoons. Don't get me
Yeah, for
wrong.
real.
Like, but if it's no cartoons, shit, we just watching pure sports.
Sports
And you know what I mean?
documentaries.
And then CSN, Bay Area, watching pure Warrior games.
Yeah, and Kings
You know,
games.
And Sacramento King games because that's what was always on. You
Yeah,
know,
during the basketball.
in our area.
Yeah.
So it's like we got to see the Warriors be sorry
Yeah.
before they were where they were. You know what I mean?
For sure. You know, just watching sports documentaries. Watching sports shows
Yeah,
with my uncle Sam. You know what I mean? Just talking sports every time. You know what I mean? Because my uncle Sam came to my house every week. My you know my uncle Sam was in my life since the day I was born. Every week I saw that man. Maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and we'll just talk sports. He'll teach me everything. I always ask questions when I was a kid, and he always gave me an answer. And he made my sports knowledge, higher than what it is. And daddy too as well. My dad's a huge sports fan,
yeah,
and he knows everything about it. And it just it's in me, bro. It's not on me. It's just not on me. You feel me? And
shit, yeah. You should give me your top five Raiders players, and then top 5 Warriors players.
my top five Raiders players of all time: Charles Woodson, Tim Brown.
Number one.
Charles Woodson number one, Tim Brown number two, uh, Lester Hayes number three, Cliff Branch number four, and then number five. I loved I love Nandi. Nandi Osman, man. He was just he just after Charles Woodson left, he made he was just that guy for the for the longest that when we were sorry. I mean, we still is sorry, but he made that like damn, he one of the best corners in the league, and we have him. Even though we were
Yeah,
losing,
yeah, he was big too.
yeah, I
Yeah, he
fell in
had
love
good
with him, bro.
size.
Yeah, I just very underrated player, not just for the Raiders, but in the corner position. You feel me? So yeah, I think Nandi, but all the Raiders, man. Once a Raider, always a Raider. I love the Raiders. Period. You feel me? Especially if they love us back. You feel me?
Yeah,
No Randy Moss, no Devontae Adams, no Warren Sapp type shit. You know,
yeah, for real.
they love them to wear the silver and black. You feel me,
Shit,
man?
what about Warriors?
Warriors. It'll be Baron Davis first. That's the reason why I'm a Warriors fan because of him when he came. Him, Steven Jackson, Al Harrington. Monte Ellis. But you know, that's why I became a Warriors fan in 2007. You know,
Yeah,
so but Baron Davis number one, number two has to be Curry, of course. Number three, Jason Richardson. Number four, Monte Ellis. And then number five, it'd probably be Tim Hardaway or You know, my six. Yeah, it'll be Tim Hardaway, but my sixth man will probably be Clay.
Or yeah,
You know what I
yeah, you
mean?
can't go wrong with Clay.
Yeah, I love Clay. You feel me? But yeah, and shit. As we talking top five. Shit, might as well talk about top five. My top five ace. Shit too. Might as
Oh
well.
yeah, it's
Shit.
Ricky Henderson number one for sure.
Ricky Henderson number one, like you said. Number two, probably you know, it's probably Cespedes. You feel me? Cause he was good, man. And once we got rid of him, it's just like fuck, you know, like what we have now. You feel me? And then he was never the same
Yeah.
after he left the A's. So, but I like him a lot though. He probably won't be two, but he just came up in my mind right now. You know, uh, but number two probably Dave Stewart. Number three, uh, Dennis Eckersley. You know,
Yeah.
number four, Miguel Tejada. And then number five, maybe uh, maybe Eric Chavez. You know what I mean? Third baseman.
Eric
Yeah,
Chavez.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
funny.
nah, but yeah, bro. It's just I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Answering. I didn't think you'll answer right now. And damn, calling from Tennessee. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Shit, I'm about to head back to Atlanta right now.
To you, because I mean, Tennessee only has football team, right? Well, yeah, they don't have basketball, they don't have baseball. Just because you're in Tennessee, who's the best? Who's the face of Tennessee in sports? That you know what I mean? You're Mount Rushmore in Tennessee. Just because you're at
Like
Tennessee right now, like the best Titan,
uh,
pretty much.
best players in Tennessee.
Just give me five or
History.
yeah, give me five or give me four. What because Mount Rushmore.
Reggie White got to be number one.
Oh yeah, the college. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be the Volunteers too. Just Tennessee,
Yeah.
period. Like, what's your top five Tennessee
Yeah.
players?
Tennessee. You know.
Is Reggie White?
Reggie White.
Damn, Reggie White's number one. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
To the greatest, man.
Um. Um. These other two is not no particular order,
Yeah,
but
just give me
Eddie
your five.
George,
Just give me the five. Eddie
Eddie
George, number
George.
two.
Javon Curse.
Javon Curse, number three. I love Javon
Yeah, and then
Curse.
Steve McNair, recipe Steve McNair.
Steve McNair, number four. Yeah, it's recipes number nine. For real.
And I'm trying to remember who else. And then Peyton Manning. I can't forget Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he played for the Volunteers. Yeah.
Yeah,
He lost the Heisman Trophy to Charles Woodson. But if Charles Woodson
yeah,
wasn't there, I best believe he would have won. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's probably the greatest Tennessee quarterback that the Volunteers ever had. Um,
yeah.
I
That's what I could think of.
for real, I thought you were gonna say like Chris Johnson too. I love Chris Johnson.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, for
Man,
sure.
he
Chris Johnson.
hella underrated.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry too. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Chris
Yeah.
Johnson though. You
You
know,
feel me? Keith
for
Bullock.
sure.
Albert Hainsworth before he went to
Oh
that
yeah,
man. That was a beast. One of the best D tackle seasons I ever seen. Yeah, man. Shout out to Tennessee though, man. For real.
yeah. It's
Man,
one of them.
that's cool though, bro. You know what I mean? Like you giving me like something to talk about. Just cause where you're at right now. And it just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that, guy.
I was passing by the the what's it called, the Nashville what is it, Sabers?
Yeah, the hockey team. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to. double back when they play the Sharks or something.
For
Oh,
sure, for
you know what I mean?
real, for real. Shit. Whenever you do, shit, give me some Saber merch or something. I'll wear it for the show, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? What I want to do too. I want to maybe people, if they want to have a fundraiser of me having, me wearing some sports shit, and I'm gonna dedicate the show to them. You know what I mean? Or this is their show because they bought me, a hat or a jacket,
Yeah.
just saying, you know what I mean? It's just for the show, and hopefully, my next topic after I was talking, gonna get off the phone with you, but I feel like I should talk about it with you, instead. Um, I Let's talk about how important youth sports should be to people going forward. You know what I mean? It takes the young kids, you know what I mean, out the streets, bro, and it brings them
Yeah, for sure.
purpose. It brings them to stay out of trouble. It just brings something that, you know, they could compete with themselves, you know, on betterment their athletic skills or just, you know what I mean, discipline. It just, I feel like we need to be more involved in sports, youth sports, because I feel like it's kind of
For sure.
dying down low key, what I see. But if it's not, you know what I mean? Yeah, forgive me, but I mean, I feel like we should be more involved with it. You know what I mean? You should be a basketball coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that was one of the reasons why I got into coaching. You
Yeah.
know, that 1 year. You know, and just like teaching the kids
What did teach you though?
about huh?
What did teach you though? Like how do you feel when every time you help those kids grow, and
It's
throughout
just
that
just
season?
to, it's just to look in their face when they see that they're processing like the progress, like
Part of the
they
team?
get happy when they make shots. They
Yeah.
get happy when they do new moves.
Yeah.
And they're learning and they're getting better. Cause I'm not gonna lie, bro. I did coaching one time with shout out to Sean, shout out to Deshaun
Sean
Anderson.
Deshaun's.
I know he's still probably coaching. I think he is coaching
Yeah.
now. And back home in Corcoran,
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah,
hometown.
yeah.
And so
Shout out to
I remember
Sean.
1 year I helped him coach a basketball team. I think it was a 9 and 13 or 12, 9 through 12. And man, when we did it, the first year, it's like damn, they didn't even know what they was doing, bro.
You know what?
Like
I
yeah,
remember that
we're gonna
too.
lose every single game. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna think that we're gonna by looking at our squad, you'll be like, yeah,
From the
we're gonna lose
beginning of the
every
year?
game. But the fact that me and Deshaun like we was teaching them and we was showing them and like and bro, we end up being undefeated that year, bro. No losses, man.
I remember that, to be honest, yeah. I think
Yeah,
I showed up to maybe a couple of your games. Not all of them, but, I was doing my own thing, working, but, you know what I mean? I remember y'all went undefeated. And,
and that was dope. And that was dope, bro. And I'll forever
yeah,
remember that because it's like, man, like we got to make kids be better, bro, and
exactly.
teach them respect and all that, and
Yeah.
like be a team. Like you pass the ball to everybody. Everybody gets the ball.
Everybody gets
You
the
know.
ball. It's not just, it's
And,
not just the scoring. Yeah, the scoring wins you the game, but it's just making your teammates better, you know what I mean? And it's just like involve yourself even though you don't have the ball. You know what I mean? You still involve
yeah,
yourself, you know?
yeah, you can still be useful without having the ball in your hand.
Yeah, yeah, sure, you know what I mean? And that's
You know.
what's cool about sports, and that's what sports taught me, not just in sports but in life, period. And that's why sports and music and just culture just played a factor, in our life. And I feel like, it's a great opportunity of just keeping this shit going and actually, show the world that, hey, you know, let me give you a taste on, the mind of Carlito Grin, Junie 200, whoever, yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
I appreciate you coming in, bro, because, of course I'm a little nervous, first episode, but, me having a co-host or a guest, kind of brings that
And
calmness to me.
I was about to tell you too, like, we were talking about Tennessee,
Yeah,
about Tennessee sports, man. You don't want to get it to Georgia.
yeah,
It gonna
yeah,
never
yeah.
end. That shit gonna never end, bro.
What people don't know, my brother stays
Yeah.
in Atlanta, Georgia, right now. And yeah, Georgia's different, just from them in high school to Georgia's top five probably in the
Yeah,
nation
bro.
in sports. Period. You know what I mean? Especially in football, they're top five in football. You know, California, Florida,
And bro, like, and bro,
Texas.
I've been on you know I've been around the world, bro.
Yeah.
And one thing about Georgia that I can't get discredit them, bro. They love their sports here, bro.
Oh yeah, man. It's a dope sports
I ain't
town.
never seen a state that man that goes crazy for sports more than it. Besides Texas, Texas loves football. Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
shout out Texas, but I'm saying, but Georgia, man, like, man, bro, everybody's just watching sports, bro, or they're throwing parties, they're throwing like, man, like,
Yeah, yeah,
they love
yeah,
sports, bro. Like, you could talk sports
yeah.
with
You
but like anybody that you meet at the store or something, they're
yeah.
talking about sports.
Yeah, yeah, and I love that, man.
Oh, like that's just crazy, bro.
Ever since Uncle Sam passed away, my sports talking hasn't been the same. But ever since my son got born, I want to bring it back, and this is just me bringing, you know, my love, back in my life. You feel me? The love of talking sports and yeah, not for real, bro. It's a sometimes I feel like it's a therapy for me and to other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of people that I know that we talk nothing but sports and nothing else.
yeah.
You know?
You can connect through sports.
Yeah, exactly. Sports is the ultimate connection. Other than music and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
nah, but yeah, bro. I bet, dude. You see the gas station. I'm pretty sure they have nothing but Georgia Bulldogs and
oh yeah,
Braves and Hawk shit, Falcon stuff, huh? Like at the local
oh yeah,
WalMarts.
everywhere, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, they
Everybody's
sure do,
living.
bro. They sure do. When I went to go visit you, nothing but what I mean, uh, Georgia Bulldog stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they got the College Hall of Fame over here too.
See, and one time, hopefully,
You gotta see it when you come again.
yeah, hopefully in a future episode, me and Jim could, me fly out there and we shoot some content.
Hell yeah, and then you can record it. We can record it, bro. Like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
and show the people, bro. Like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah, no, for sure,
man, it's crazy, bro.
But hey, shit, um, I'm gonna get this shit going, but future reference too. I'm always have you as an option, as a guest. So, you know what I mean. We finna get this shit going. So, you're a part of this as much as I'm doing this shit. You feel me? So just know that this won't be the first or the last. I mean, this is the first, but this won't be the last.
Yeah, most definitely. Whenever I'm available, bro, just call me.
Nah, for sure, can
Make
I?
it happen.
Yeah, nah, for sure, can I?
And hopefully we be better connected. And so
Oh yeah, yeah,
for years.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. People will get to see your face, and we'll fix that. But nah, appreciate you being the first guest on the show, and like I said, we gonna get this shit rolling, can I? You hear me?
Huh?
You hear me?
Yeah, for sure, you know. I fucking love you, you know.
I love y'all too, bro. I'll talk to y'all later.
Uh,
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Like, shit, that was my brother Junie 200, man. Shit, man. Salute to him, bro. You feel me? Like, kind of brought this episode to life. You know, just chopping, talking sports. You feel me? And it's just like, I don't want sports to be a boring topic of people that don't really know sports. I want the non-sports watchers to come watch it, my show too, as well. You know, I want the as much views I can get. You know, and hopefully we can connect. You know, like I said, this is not just a sports show. This is just culture. Period. You know, and my last thing I want to do, I'm so happy because I'm a proud Mexican American, and they just started the Latin Hall of Fame for Latin Football Hall of Fame this year, bro. And to me, it brings me joy to see people that look like me involved in the sport of football. You know, and I want more of my people to play the game and realize that we belong in this too, you know. And I want to tell you the first Hall of Fame that got inducted for that, bro. Give me a moment. It's coming right now. And there's 3 Raiders on that Hall of Fame list. I'm pulling it up right now as we speak. Okay. The class of 2026, the Hispanic Football Hall of Fame. Got Tom Fears, Mexican American, was a coach and played for the Rams. I believe back in the 50s, you know. He's the first guy to make it. Second, Tom Flores, Sanger's own 559 and Raiders, own first Latino quarterback. Well, he wasn't the first because Tom Fears, was, in the NFL before him, but first Latino head coach, first Latino to win a Super Bowl, as a head coach, 2-time world champion, while deserving to be the first, one of the first to, to make it in the Hispanic Football Hall of Fame. The great Mad Stork, Ken Hendricks, number 83, Raiders outside linebacker, back from the 70s and 80s, 3-time Super Bowl champion, one of the best, has the record of the most blocked field goals, punts, most blocks in history in the NFL. You know what I mean? Well deserved. I think he's I don't know what Tim Hendrick is, but I'm glad that he's Hispanic. That I thought he was just a white man, but man, shout out to Tim Hendricks. Raiders great. Fourth, Anthony Munoz, offensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals back in the 80s, late 90s, maybe late 70s, during the 80s. Man, maybe he's the top 5 offensive lineman, period, in the history, not just, you know what I mean? And he was one of the best players Cincinnati ever had. Number 5, Jim Plunkett, Raiders quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl championship. Man, 3 Raiders in that list. There's 2 more, but it's just like, you know, Raiders been a factor in sports since Al Davis bought the team, and we matter, in sports history, and we're gonna bring that back. But I'm so glad that we have 3 Raiders in this Hispanic Football Hall of Fame, and it's the first class of this. Ron Rivera, head coach, also played for the Bears back in the day. I think he was part of the '85 Bears defense. I think he won the Super Bowl with them. One of the best defense of all time. But I feel like he's a Hall of Famer because what he did as a coach. Went to the Super Bowl with the Panthers, Super Bowl 50 against Broncos, but got cut short. And they lost, but he made the Panthers low key, good team for the NFC South. For the time he was there with the Panthers, so kind of made them the team to beat in those in that time in the NFC South, of course. But and he also went to Cal Berkeley, so shout out to Ron Rivera. And then the last, Steve Van Burton. I heard of the name before, but I'm gonna have to do my research on Steve Van Burton. But that's shout out to him. But that's the class of the Hispanic Football Hall of Fame, and like I said, man, this means a lot to me just to talk about this because I'm a brown man, and us Hispanics love sports. I feel like we bring we make the stadium a packed house cause of us. It was part of our living rooms, our family gatherings, just we made sports a part of the family, and just it's not just an American thing. It is American, but we gotta involve the people who buy the merch, the consumers, and then it's us, bro. It's us Hispanics. It just I'm a proud Hispanic man that I want to be part of this sports game, and I feel like a lot of it is missing. That people that look like me doing this. But shout out to the people that's been doing this before me, after me. It just makes me proud to see they have a Hall of Fame like that, and hopefully maybe one day my son will be part of that Hall of Fame class. Even the Pro Hall of Fame, whatever. Because I'm gonna make sure that my son becomes the best sportsmanship, sports athlete of all time. That's my goal, but not put the pressure on him. But he's gonna know that this brings real discipline. Brings true character, and he can make a difference. And and that's what I always wanted to do, be a coach, and so I'm gonna always be my son's coach, not just in sports but in life. And we're gonna end the show a little early, but it just like I said, man, it's just means the world to me as I'm speaking in front of this camera right now, and forever whoever's watching this. I hope you guys stay tuned and give me another chance and continue watching me. And I hope, I can deliver every time better than, my next move is the best move. Shout out to E40, But, what I mean? Thank you guys. This is a Wakeful Grit Sports Podcast, and your host, Carlito Grin. And y'all stay wakeful, y'all stay gritty, and y'all have a good night.